Hello ladies, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new around here, my name is Nikki. I am a third-year homeschooling mom to 5 little boys, and we are actually finishing up our third year. We will be going into our 4th year of homeschooling in just a few months when we start school again. So today's video is all about how I plan and prepare this curriculum. So I specifically prepared this curriculum with the intention in mind that I can use it again for another child. So as I mentioned in my curriculum review video, I only recently learned about this curriculum. It wasn't until last summer that I found this. Had I known about this a few years ago, I probably would have started with All About Reading from the very beginning, but I didn't. And so now that we have it in our homeschool, I plan to use this as a resource for my other sons as they come into kindergarten and 1st grade, as they are starting to learn how to read. So with that in mind, I wanted to prep this curriculum so that I don't have to re-buy it every other year. This curriculum is wonderful in the way that you can prepare it in such a way that you don't have to re-buy it, and you can buy it one time and use it over and over and over again. So that is what I'm going to share with you today, and I'm going to share how I plan our week and our lessons. If you haven't already, I highly recommend going and checking out my review on this curriculum. I will link that one here and down below. I do a full scale review of what is included in the curriculum, what you get, what I liked about it, things that I added to it, and how it went overall. Spoiler alert, we love it, and I definitely will continue to use this for years to come. So very quickly, I just want to show what is included in this curriculum when you purchase it. Now, when you purchase, there are a couple different options of some things that you can buy. The materials all together come with this teacher's manual. You get 3 readers, and then you also get another book that looks just like this, and it is called the student packet or student workbook. I think they label it the student packet. Basically, it is filled with all of the activity sheets that your student will be using for each lesson. You also get a bag with all of the little magnetiles. In my review video, I talk about what we used instead of using the magnetiles. I just call those magnetiles. If you're a mom with little kids, you know. They are the letter tiles. They're not magnetiles. Wow. Okay, glad I caught that. Anyway, so it also comes with a bag of letter tiles, not magnetiles, letter tiles. They're really small, and they're like this big. And I go over all of that in my review video about how we don't use that, we use something else. So check that out. As on top of all of this, you also get your word cards. The word cards come in a big sheet, and they're perforated, and you just pop them out very quickly. It's really simple. Now, something that does not come in as part of that big curriculum purchase is this reading review box. This has to be purchased separately. I'm not really sure why, because I feel like it is kind of like necessary the way that this curriculum is built, but you do have to purchase that separately. I am mistaken, the curriculum does not include the letter tiles. So if that's something that you want to use, you will need to get one of their interactive kits. So they have 2 different versions. One of them includes the letter tiles. There is a phonogram sounds app that I think is actually free. You get the dividers that go into your reading review box, and that's it. That is one of the choices. And then a second choice, you can get all of that stuff. I think they will throw in like a tote if you want to put all that stuff into a tote bag. You get the reading review box and the cards, the little cards that go in it. What I did is I purchased the curriculum, and then I purchased the basic reading interactive kit so that I could get the divider cards, and then I purchased the reading review box separately. If you scroll down at the bottom, you can see where you can actually purchase all of these different items a la carte. If you want to like pick and choose what you want, you can absolutely do that. They have that as a choice on there because I think I did recommend, and I will recommend, the readers that come along in this curriculum are wonderful. Whether you use it or not, I highly recommend them. And if you ever need help with figuring out what you need to purchase or what specific items you will need, please find me on Instagram right here, or if you are not on Instagram, I have my email in the description box down below. Please feel free to email me or find me on Instagram and message me. I am happy to help you navigate their site. It's a little weird. It took me quite a bit of time to figure out what I needed to kind of round out this curriculum, like what I would need to teach my son. So if you need any help at all figuring that out, please don't hesitate to reach out to me on Instagram or via email, and I am happy to help you figure that out. All right, so like I said, I wanted to keep this curriculum intact so that if I choose to use it for one of my other sons, that I have that as an option. So the very first thing I did is I took the student book that looks just like this, and I took all of the pages out of it. So you are going to need a big old binder. This is a 1.5 inch 3-grain binder. And you are going to need sheet protectors, and you're gonna need some paper clips. So first you're gonna go through and you are going to take out every single page in this book. They are all perforated pages, so you can pull a few of them out at a time. Once you pull them out, they're gonna look like this, and some of them will be activities. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take all of the pages out and start on the first lesson. Take the first lesson out, and you're gonna put it into the sheet protector. If you come across a lesson like this that has pieces to it, you're going to cut out all of the pieces, put them together, paper clip. I paper clip it up to the top of the page, up to the top, and then we are going to put it into our sheet protector, and there you go. So this is how I have done every single page in the student packet. They call it a packet, I call it a workbook. It's the same thing, okay? It's a giant book with all of the student activities in it. Now, one thing to know about this curriculum, there is no writing, none. Your child will never pick up a pencil. It is very hands-on as far as the activities go. They are, you know, reading words and putting things together. They're playing games. You will only need what is in this book. So once you start going through, you will see some of these. These are the word flipper cards. So these come in a sheet like this. This is what it's gonna look like. And you are going to cut this out and prepare it now. This will help you later on. What I actually did is I made copies of all of these just in the off case that one of these gets lost or I need another copy. So all of these pages I made copies of, and then I cut out either the colored version or whatever copy that or the other one that I copied. Doesn't matter, as long as you have a copy of it and one for your child to use. And these are really simple to put together. You just cut it out and then you staple the pieces together because they kind of flip through them like a little book. And then I put all of the ones that I put together back into the page with the sheet protector and then put it into the binder. Another page that I made a copy of and I also used in the sheet protector was the progress chart. So when my son was doing this, we did not use the original sheet. So this is the original sheet that came with the student workbook. I just put it in the sheet protector and then he simply put his sticker on the progress chart just right on top of the sheet protector, and then I will just toss the sheet protector, well, we're all done, but when I'm ready to, when we are ready to use it again for another child, I will just take this out of the sheet protector, put it in a new one, and we have it ready for another kid to use. So when you're all done, this is what your curriculum will look like. I keep the progress chart here with the stickers and anything that we may be working on that week. If you watch my review video, you will see that it usually takes 3 to 5 days for us to get through an entire lesson. So there are things that we will use all week long, and I just stick them right here in this pocket so that I can remember that we need to go over those. And then you will have your entire curriculum prepped out. So I do this at the very beginning. As soon as I get the book, I cut everything out, put every single thing into a sheet protector so that when it is time to do a lesson, you can just turn to the lesson and pull the pages out that you need. All right, so as far as planning, how do I plan? After I have everything prepped, I'm pretty much ready to go. So when you're all prepped and ready, these are the things that you will have. You will have your reading review box, all of your cards, the word cards, the phonogram cards, your readers, the teacher's manual, and then your binder with your progress chart for your child, and then all of the lessons. This makes it so much easier to just grab and go, and especially when we are in a post-pandemic world, we like to school at different places here and there, and having this prepped and ready so that I can just grab it and go will make things just so wonderful. And then of course the other thing that is missing is the letter tiles. We use the app, and that is on our iPad. So this curriculum is very much open and go. There's not a lot of planning that is involved, which is what I love. So I am a reverse homeschool planner. If you don't know what that is, very quickly, it is where you kind of do what you're gonna do and then you record it afterward. So this is great for me. This curriculum works great for that because whatever we get done, that is simply what I put in my planner for the day for what we accomplished. So as far as planning, this curriculum has 53 lessons, and I knew that we would probably get through on average about 3 lessons a week, give or take. Now this past year, we did take an entire month off because I had a baby, and we took some days off here and there at the beginning of the year when I was having a rough pregnancy, and we still ended at the end of April. So for next year going forward, I know that I will probably add in a little bit more and spread it out even a little bit more than I did this year, knowing that next year we won't be taking an entire month off again, and just kind of having a better feel for how this curriculum works. But knowing that we would do about 3 lessons a week made it a lot easier for me to envision how that was going to play out for the whole school year. And so in your teacher's manual, it tells you specifically what to go over in that lesson. And for planning purposes, I would literally just open up the teacher's manual that day, and I would read this before you begin section that is for you, the parent. And it gives you an overview of what you're going to be teaching that day. Usually look at that the day before, just to be familiar myself with what I was going to be teaching him. And then I keep this and whatever reader he was on, I will keep these two things together in a little bin for him. And he often would start out doing his review words from the word card box, and then we would jump right into the lesson. The lesson would go from sometimes being 10 minutes to maybe 20 minutes. All About Reading suggests only doing reading for about 15 to 20 minutes a day. Of course, if your child is ready to do more, then do more. But that definitely was a sweet spot for my son. I could tell when some of the lessons were a little bit lengthier, I could tell that he was getting exasperated, so we would stop. And we would just pick up right there where we left off the next day. Especially the lessons that include reading 2 stories. We always broke those up into 2 different days, at least 2 days. Sometimes that would span over a course of a week. And, you know, I talk a lot about this in my review video, how this is a very self-paced curriculum. Self-paced as you, the teacher, you, mom, get to figure that out. Whatever is working for your child. There were some weeks where we just busted out some lessons, like we would get 5 lessons done that week. And then there were other weeks where we would spend an entire week on a lesson. It really just varied between what was being taught. You know, for my son, particularly him learning the beginning blends of words like FL, BL, like those types of things, we spent more time on that. And so those lessons took us a lot longer. All I wanted to do was get through 52 lessons by the end of the school year. And, you know, I mentioned this in my video that near the end of the year, I did add in some other things for him to do. He ended his curriculum a little bit earlier than I would have wanted. If you are wanting to add in a language arts element or some more writing work to kind of like go alongside their reading, you absolutely can. This curriculum is beefy enough that it is able to teach a very solid foundation of reading, but there is no language arts, there is no writing, there is nothing like that. And so, you know, for us this year, my sole purpose, my sole focus was to teach just reading to my son who was using it. For next year, we will be adding in some language arts elements, and that is why I loved this, because when I'm, you know, planning it out, I know that I can easily add some other things in there for him to do that won't overwhelm him, and it will go right alongside this reading curriculum. So now one of my sons has completed this curriculum, and I have it prepped and ready for my next son to use it in a couple years, which is great and exciting. This is less work that I have to do when he is starting kindergarten, and I love that for me. So if you are interested in purchasing this curriculum and want to be able to use it over and over, I highly suggest prepping it this way so that you can keep it. Make copies of anything that you think that you might need, or if you have something that your child wants to write on, make a copy of it and stick it in your sheet protector so that you will still have it for another child to use in the future. There's not many curriculum where you can reuse like this. And so while this is definitely on the pricier side of curriculums, it is worth it because not only does it really and truly build such a solid foundation of reading, but you can use it for multiple kids, and I love that. If you enjoyed this video, give it a big ol' thumbs up and subscribe down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.
The world could fall down, it's gonna be okay. The sun could go out, we're gonna be